Welcome to actually making your device. By now, hopefully you've got all your hardware set up. All your buttons will play the notes that you want it to make. And now we're going to put it in a little kind of box. We're going to create the outside of the device. Let's jump into it, shall we? Step one. Step one is just visualizing, being able to see in your brain what you want it to look like. When you do this, make sure you know how many buttons you've got, what the device will be used for, what kind of sounds you reckon you'll be making with it, how many wires are there, is there a wind sensor. Just think about all the different components of your device and what you kind of want it to look like. Step two, draw it out. Now that we've got a picture in our brain, it's time to try and put it on the paper. You'll need to draw out what you think it'll look like, draw out how many parts you reckon you might need, draw how many buttons you've got, how many wind sensors, how many different parts to your device there is. Draw it all out on the paper so you can see, so other people can see what it will look like. Make sure you leave enough room for all the buttons to fit. Some buttons are bigger than others and need more space. Step three, start drawing it out on your material. Now that we've got a rough copy on paper, it's time to start measuring out how big you want it and how big you want the pieces. Make sure you measure multiple times because you can only cut once. Once you've cut the piece, it's over, it's done. Unless you cut another piece, you can't put on material that you've cut off. Also make sure that you label each part so you know which part is which and which part you still need to cut. Step four, regularly stop and just check that all the pieces still kind of fit together. Make sure you have enough pieces, make sure the buttons will still fit with your material. Make sure that they all slide in smoothly. Step five, by now we should have all our pieces that we'll need cut out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draft where the buttons will go. Where do we want to put the buttons? How big will the buttons be? How many holes do we need to cut for them? Make sure that it all fits. Draw where everything needs to go on your piece. Step six, start cutting the holes in. This can be a very tricky part of the process, so make sure you don't cut yourself. Make sure that you also check regularly that the buttons fit inside your hole. You don't want to make them too big or they'll fall through. Step seven, let's start gluing. All right, it's time to start gluing up the sides of our device. You may need a friend to help you hold the corners and make sure that the corners are square. Make sure you don't glue it completely shut. You may need to get inside and fix it up again later on in the process, in case like some of the stuff falls out or whatever. Step eight, let it dry. Step nine, our device should be complete by now. Plug it in, make sure it works. If something doesn't work, make sure you pull off the top or the side or whatever panel you didn't completely glue shut in that previous step and just check that everything's still connected and everything still works. Step 10, it is time to play some funky beats. I will see you in the next video where we get down and we boogie and we create a fresh tune with our new devices. All right, see you soon.